monsieur, je vous dis bonsoir. Je m'appelle le Fondement Monte et ce soir, je suis avec Legbete sur Legbete TV Radio.
Legbete TV Radio, we dare to lead. You are listening to Legbete TV Radio. Legbete TV Radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen. This is radio like you never heard before. Legbete TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio.
All right, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the Sports Wheel on Legbete TV Radio. My name is Idafe Matthias. You're going to come in Legbete on the Sports. For the next 1 hour, we are going to be, sinking our teeth in some of the major talking points in sports that have gone on throughout the day. Yeah, tomorrow morning it's going to be another show. It's the Sports Buffet. Let's try and understand the difference between both shows. The night show is a little bit slower. The morning show is a bit faster, and it's late in the evening. Just as the sick tune is already, you should know that. But beyond all of that, on both shows we'll talk about sports. Why the need for the evening show? Yes, so our diaspora audience said that the morning show coincide with their time of sleeping. So we should make some sacrifice, some adjustment to accommodate them. And it's not easy anyway, because you have to come back again every day after doing a very hot, heated morning show. You have to come back in the evening, and you're not sure if the audience will be there waiting for you on the YouTube live stream or on Instagram. But then you just have to find the courage to do it. So we're doing a test run for the next 1 month. If it doesn't go, the numbers doesn't rise as we wish, we'll yank it off. It's not a must that it has to stay, but I'm kind of like loving it, especially. When I look back on the predictions that I made on Thursday night and on Friday night, and how accurate they were, and realizing that, I've not lost touch. I thought I've lost touch because it's been a while. I did this prediction thing, and I thought, okay, I don't have it anymore. And I've been a lot more scared to dive into it than any other thing. But it seems to be working, right? So I think we'll try it for the next 1 month and see the numbers, especially on YouTube, and see how good it is. And then we'll decide whether we will continue, whether it's something that is worth continuing, or we'll say to ourselves, let's just do the morning show. Let's just leave the evening and do only the morning, because sometimes, you're not going to get the numbers that you hope to get. But then there's something I need to announce. From next week, Monday evening on Twitter, we're going to be having an hour Twitter space, myself, Abu Aziz, and some MPFL players. And the focus will just be on MPFL. Felix the Great has signed up to be part of it. And a few other people have also signed up to be part of it. People who cover the MPFL, because, I get tackled a lot that we're not doing enough for the MPFL. And I'm always asking, when you say I am not doing enough, okay, what do you want me to do? I produce MPFL games. I interview players, grassroots and MPFL players, even referees. I mean, an area that a lot of people say, don't interview referees. We just spit out a referee and a mother. We even interview people who sell around stadium. What do you guys really want us to do? So I've also opened up the whole idea is, okay, you guys suggest some of the things that you want us to do, the content that you guys would be, interested in us doing. If it is what we can do, we'll say, okay, we can do this one. If it is not, no, we can't do this one for XYZ reasons, okay? Yeah, it's not like we don't, they don't listen. No, that's not it. We do listen, but it has to be doable. It's not everything you suggest. Don't take it so personal that, because you suggest something and we're not doing it, it means, they don't listen. That's not the truth. There must be a reason why we're not doing it. All right, so this evening we're going to look at some of the stories that have rocked the world of sports. Okay, Antonio Joshua has won his fight Saturday night, but some people say they're not convinced about him. Yeah, and he can't fight Tyson Fury immediately. He still have to go through another fight in about 6 months' time for him to start thinking of Tyson Fury. And Alexander Usyk have been ordered. You must fight. You must defend your title. The belts are not meant to be kept at home. Once you have that belt, then you must fight. There must be challengers. There must be mandatory fights, and you have to get it going. There's someone waiting in the wings to fight. Well, don't forget that going on right now is the game between Everton and Tottenham Hotspur. Will Tottenham Hotspur eventually find the courage to put up a good run of wins that will sustain their top four? And for you out there, would it be considered a success if Tottenham Hotspur make the top four? As it stands right now, earlier on, Empoli beat Lecce by a goal to nil. Sassuolo and Torino are playing. Somehow, Torino is 63 minutes on the clock. Torino are losing by a goal. And in Spain, it is halftime, but Rayo Vallecano away from home are leading Valencia by a goal to nil. The Everton Tottenham Hotspur game, second half just started a few minutes ago. It is 49 minutes on the clock, and it's still 0-0. Well, let's look at the live table from the Premier League and tell you that at this rate, Everton will be saying to themselves, well, they've not scored us, we could get something. But at this rate, Tottenham Hotspur are above Manchester United. Yeah, above Manchester United on goals difference because they've scored 52 goals this season. Manchester United have scored 41 and have conceded 37. Not like Spurs have also done well in defending. They've conceded 40 goals, but at least they've got a plus 12. That's the difference in goals. If not, almost every other team is the same. Spurs have lost 9 games this season. Let's not forget. Man United have got 2 games in hand. So hypothetically, let's say that Manchester United might make it into the top 4. Spurs might not. Okay. There was a time when Manchester United was almost veering into the title race, but then they veered off. They cannot Bemben, so they are not there anymore. As it stands right this, Everton are on 15th position on the log, and if they can manage to win this game, they just might jump up a bit and go into 13th. They'll jump over Wolves and West Ham and go into 13th. Okay, so they need a win just as much as Spurs needs a win. Spurs get a win, they stay in 4th position and hopefully go into 3rd. Even if they get a win, they'll go into 3rd. Newcastle comes to 4th. Manchester United stays in 5th. And there's Brighton in 6th, Brentford in 7th, Liverpool in 8th, Aston Villa in 9th, Fulham in 10th. Why would they not start Graham Potter? Yeah, Graham Potter's former team are in 11th position. Who would have thought of that? That Chelsea, that spent more money than a couple of teams put together in the Premier League, and probably an entire full team in some league in Europe, are in 11th position after spending 601 million. Jesus Christ, man, that's bad. May Potter not happen to you. May Potter not happen to you. 7 months of wasted money. Well, so somebody sent me a message and said, hey, Daffy, why are they not paying Potter for 48 million anymore? Well, first off, there's not a cause. There's a reason to sack him. There is a failure in the contract. I think there's a clause in that contract that says that they must qualify for the Champions League every season. And Chelsea have now reached the point where they can't make it into the top 4 anymore. So the compensation have gone from 48 million to just 13 million. And they won't pay that money once, they'll pay it instrumentally, okay? And Graham Potter have immediately also turned down an opportunity to take the Leicester City job that was vacated due to the sacking of Brendan Rodgers. So, said he wants to take a break. He wants to reassess himself. He wants to think about his life and see where he got it all wrong and probably readdress things. And maybe he will be able to now come back and prove to a certain that that he is an English coach that is worth giving the opportunity. Well, I don't know. I don't know. For as long as you're an English coach, I just think that you don't have what it takes. That's me. All right. So whether he changes his mind, whether he gets the job and he gets the job done, that's up to him. But for me, I think guy, Sabi, that's the way I say it. But let me check something downstairs. All right, well, good to go. Yeah. So for you guys, who do you think? I mean, names have come up: Julian Nagelsmann, Zinedine Zidane, Luis Enrique. We talked about it in the morning, but I'm bringing it back again in the evening. Who do you think is the best man for the job? Some have even mentioned Jose Mourinho, but Jose Mourinho I think Jose Mourinho have said he would like to honor his contract at Roma. He doesn't want to run away and leave them. He's enjoying life there, and he would stay. They might not win the league title with the squad that he's got, but he wants to stay and honor his contract. So let's say hypothetically, Jose Mourinho is out of the conversation. Zinedine Zidane doesn't seem keen on coming to. He wants to coach in England, but definitely not a team like Chelsea. And earlier on Twitter, I think I was replying to Charles Anazodo's tweet, and I said Chelsea will go. Chelsea will go 5 seasons before they would have a chance of winning the Premier League again. And a lot of people were not happy with what I said. We're very pissed and angry, and they want me to explain. I'm going to explain all of that on the show. But before I go into those explanations and giving a break of it, let me jump in on the news items that we have. And then when I come back, I'll give you. Remember, I told you last week I interviewed someone very, very important, someone who is into data and statistics. When you watch games and you see all the statistics on the screen, most of them most likely would have been done by his company because he works in tandem with the production companies in England as well. I've been in this office this morning, as well as the Bundesliga and I can't sleep. Night number is where you do. The Bundesliga and the UEFA Champions League. So he's practically caught up everywhere he's involved. And I was fascinated by FC Bayern. You know what makes them super? Bayern is so structured. Whether they sack coach or they don't sack coach, the team's goals are still achieved. What is it with Bayern that we can learn from? And we'll hear from him. And then he would also give me a breakdown of the sacking of Julian Nagelsmann. We'll hear from him on the show tonight. Don't forget that by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, we would have the full interview, the full video interview on our YouTube channel. You can watch it at that time. But whatever it is, we will go. And when people ask this question, when I say English coaches are not good, they will not come, what about a Newcastle coach? Sometimes I think that you people are just asking the question just because you want to hear me say something, or you just like to argue blindly. In Spain, in the last 30 years, how many foreign coaches have won the Spanish La Liga? In Germany, in the last 30 years, how many foreign coaches have won the German Bundesliga? In Italy, in the last 30 years, how many foreign coaches have won the Italian Serie A? That is if there's any foreign coach that have won it. And then in France, and then in Holland, and then in Scotland, and then in Latvia, in even smaller leagues. In the last 30 years, not a single English coach have won the English Premier League. Now you have one coach who have a team that have plenty of money, and the fact that a lot of teams are not doing well, just making the top 4. Not being said that even though on top of the league, one amateur coach that just started coaching 2-3 seasons ago is topping the league. 2 Spanish coaches are actually taking first and second. And then you're asking me, what about the Newcastle coach? Is he winning the league? Is he going to win the league this season? And because one coach is managing to make the top 4 for God knows how long, all of a sudden you're asking me about the Newcastle coach. Come on, stop it. You ask questions, ask good questions. Don't ask me questions that you already know the answer. Well, let's sink our teeth into the stories. The news stories there. Everton and Tottenham Hotspur clash at Goodison Park to help wrap up the weekend's Premier League action in a match of immense importance for both sides. Following all the live action as it happens, I will be here to give you updates and as things going. Spurs are playing for the very first time since sacking Antonio Conte as they look to move up to third on the table, while hosts Everton are just as desperate for 3 points as a bid to escape the bottom three. Follow of the action for the duration of this show. I will tell you what is happening as we progress on the show. Having said that, let's jump another story and talk about the man, the river of the moment. Graham Potter is said to wait until the summer before he will return to management, with Leicester City identifying him as a possible long-term replacement for Brendan Rodgers. Leicester have admired Potter for a number of years now, and it is thought that the 47-year-old name was discussed on Sunday when Chelsea sacked him after only 7 months in the role. But Sportsmail understand that Potter is not keen to recharge after an immense stint, 7 months on any immense, so at Stamford Bridge before plotting his return next season, as well as Leicester, Brighton could be interested in rehiring Potter if Roberto De Zerbi leaves, while there is also likely to be a vacancy at Tottenham Hotspur. Well, for Graham Potter, do you think there is any team, it makes sense for any team in all of these teams that they mentioned, Tottenham Hotspur, Leicester City, possibly Brighton, possibly West Ham, if they don't get relegated, to think in the direction of Graham Potter? Or was it that it was Chelsea that was really bad, so bad they couldn't even get a coach to do well, that made him not to do well? Well, that's it's up to you to put it on the comment section. Tell me what you think. But then, how much would Potter be getting now that he's been fired? Originally, it would have been if he was on course to probably make the Champions League, or he was challenging for title and they sacked him, he would have gotten the full cost of his salary, which is 48 million, because the man signed a 60 million contract, 12 million every year for the next 5 years. But unfortunately, they are in a place where they can't even make it to the top four right now. If they win all their remaining games in this season, they will still not make the top four anymore, meaning that his reign has cost the club a lot of losses, financial revenue. So they meet at a middle of the road and say, you know what, let's just give you 1 year salary plus the remainder of this season, the salary for this season, so that everybody will be at peace. And the man looked at it, well, that's enough for me to go on sabbatical for a while and come back and then take another job again. So 13 million pounds is what we get. And this is the story. Graham Potter is set to earn 13 million in compensation after being sacked by Chelsea, taking their spending on managerial costs to over 50 million pounds in 9 months, increasing the Blues' need for a mass sale of players this summer. Well, they're teetering on the edge, on the very, very edge of financial fair play already with this type of spend. As bad as Roman Abramovich in his era, but Roman Abramovich never sacked two managers in one season, if my memory serves me right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea fans, but I thought so. Graham Potter is set to receive that amount of money, which is also very, very good for him anyway. And that means that Chelsea would have to be very, very careful what to do. But then, whether careful or not careful, the owners of Chelsea have already come at with a plan, and this are the information that we scoop. Chelsea are hot for 60 million pounds Atlanta striker Rasmus Højlund. Okay, Liverpool wants a goalkeeper. His name is Daniel Levy. No, not the one that Tottenham Hotspur. They want the goalkeeper. Daniel Levy is keen on James Maddison for Tottenham Hotspur, and there is good news for Diego Jota. Those are all the transfer stories that we have to tell you this evening. Tomorrow morning, we will give you some more on that one. Simon Jones will be giving you inside news and all the rest when it comes to transfer from our partner Stock Sports. But for now, let me stay with you. Barcelona have demanded that La Liga president Javier Tebas, resign over allegations he gave false evidence in corruption case against Barcelona, accusing him of being obsessed with prosecuting the club. So that is a problem. So La Liga president Javier Tebas has strongly refuted the claims on social media, but Barcelona issued a statement saying he was obsessed with prosecuting the club. And they even claim that people from Madrid are sponsoring him to make the club look bad so that they will lose that financially, and then eventually they will kicked out of the league. But of all the things that they've done, as they pain them, they sweet us. That's what Barcelona are thinking, because no matter what they do in Madrid, one thing is certain: Barcelona will win the league. It can only change if Real Madrid goes on to win the Champions League, and then they will do their parade and laugh at them. But well, that's a different topic for another day. Olusegun Usyk, let's talk about boxing now. Is ordered to defend his unified heavyweight title against Daniel Dubois. Okay, after undisputed talk with Tyson Fury fell through. Okay, with the British 25. The British star 25 poised for his first crack at world honors as WBA mandatory challenger. So now, Olusegun Usyk have to prepare, go back to training. Whatever punches he was planning to land on Tyson Fury, he better come and put it on Daniel Dubois. Okay, Olusegun Usyk is ready. Dubois is set for a date of destiny with Olusegun Usyk after officially being named as his mandatory challenger by the WBA. Usyk has been ordered to defend his unified heavyweight title against Dubois after failing to negotiate a mega fight with Tyson Fury last month, a contest which initially took precedence over his mandatory duties, given it would have crowned a undisputed champion. For me, I think Tyson Fury was scared, though. Despite accepting a questionable 7:30 pause split out of his favor, the Ukrainian eventually pulled the plug on talks with Fury after growing tired of his excessive demand, including for a rematch clause to be removed from their fight contract. Okay, bosses wait for its first undisputed heavyweight champion in over 2 decades. In case of you, those of you who don't know what 2 decades is, it's 20 years. In about 20 years, therefore goes on the breakdown in talks with Fury. Miss Usyk will now turn his attention to another Brit, who is Dubois. Let's hope that that fight will go through at the end of the day. Let's jump back again into football talk. Erik ten Hag is becoming increasingly impatient with Jadon Sancho. All the plenty money that he used to buy a player, sometimes big money does not mean big performance. Yes, Arsenal spent £72 million on one of the most legbere footballer in the world. We know how it turned out to be. Nicolas Yaya Sanogo Pepe. It didn't turn out well. Manchester United also spent big money on Paul Pogba. Wouldn't say it turned out bad, but at the same time, I can't say it turned out great as well. It's just caught in between. They also spent big money on Jadon Sancho. We know how it has been. Manchester City spent 100 million on what's his name? The guy that likes to fall, Jack Grealish. Finally, this season is turning out good, but not great yet. Well, let's hope that as we progress in the world of football, money will not be the reason why players are rated, but rather ability. There's a player called Mikhailo Modric. Okay, everybody said he was going to Arsenal. He was romancing Arteta on social media, doing everything. He signed for Chelsea. Chelsea fans were happy that they hijacked a player from Arsenal. Well, the player that Arsenal used to replace him in the mention of Leandro Trossard have created more assists this season than almost every player in the front line of Chelsea. Okay, for 6 games, how many games I have played for Arsenal? So this might just be everything will just balance. Okay, United currently sit 4th in the Premier League after losing 2-0 to Newcastle, with their season beginning to falter after a solid few months. Let's jump to West Ham. Seems like they've given the go-ahead, the green light. This player was once upon a time, 2 seasons ago, priced for £150 million. They refused. His name is Declan Rice. They even brought Beans to join in, and still they still refuse. Even bring Ofada still, they still refuse. Now the price have gone, and West Ham are now finally prepared. They're preparing for life after Declan Rice, as the midfielder's summer departure becomes even more likely, with Arsenal ready to lead the bidding and Hammers eyeing up Alex Scott among other targets. Okay, the Hammers captain look more likely than ever before to be departing the London club in the summer for a side place higher up in the Premier League table, and is not short of suitors or interest ahead of the window. Let's say IB. Well, after the sacking of their coach, Leicester City talisman, and the first Leicester City player that they will definitely build a statue for, Jamie Vardy, is in line to return to the fold for Leicester against Aston Villa, with the veteran striker set to play a key role in their Premier League survivor bid following Brendan Rodgers' departure. Yes, Vardy, one of the greatest player in the club history, has scored only once in the Premier League this season and has not started a game since January 21st. Well, let's hope that as he comes back, just like Crystal Palace after sacking Patrick Vieira, they are winning on the road and they started winning. Maybe let's just hope that the same thing would happen with Leicester City. Well, whatever decision, whether they win or they lose, not really my business. I know that come the end of the season, we would see some adjustments, some changes. I'm feeling for Kelechi Iheanacho. I know where he will be playing. If, for instance, Leicester say, okay, we don't want you anymore, because a new coach also means that sometimes it will favor some people, sometimes it will not, especially when the team is losing. Some people will just become victim. A new coach comes in and he will decide to sign their player because they would empower the coach to sign his own player. And now, knowing that Leicester's biggest problem is scoring of goals, people like Kelechi Iheanacho might just become victim. They might just be caught in arm's way. Every time I look at Kelechi Iheanacho, it reminds me of a low-budget Kanu Nwankwo. Kanu Nwankwo, as great as people rate him, never played 10 consecutive games, correct me if I'm wrong, for any club in all of his career. Okay? Kelechi Iheanacho, I don't think he has ever played up to 10 consecutive games, 90 minutes for any club as well since he started his career. Well, it's been long. People think it's not long. In 2 years' time now, it will be 10 years since he burst into the stage at under 17. And he's still not been able to cement a regular playing time at any club. There's no argument about his talent, but then there's just something about him that makes him not to fit in. Remember, even at the prime of his game, he missed out from the African Cup of Nations in 2019. And then when he went to this last African Cup of Nations, he wasn't really a key player in the team. I'm just saying, I think these players need to look at themselves and say, are they really as good as they are rating themselves? Are they really as good? Kelechi Iheanacho have not been to the World Cup once, correct me if I'm wrong. Even if he has been, he doesn't have a World Cup mark high performance at the Senior World Cup. Then the AFCON is also not make a proper imprint at the AFCON. But then, we're trying to talk about them and make it look like, oh, this guy is a good player, And I'm asking, where the greatness from come? Okay? But let's hope that the new coach comes in and decide, you know what, I've got something to do with this player. I'm going to give him a shot and see what he can do. Then eventually Tottenham Hotspur have scored. Everton got a red card, and it took all the way to the 69th minute for Tottenham Hotspur to score that goal. Okay, after that Corey got a red card for unsportsmanlike behavior. Don't forget that Hurricane. I've also picked up a yellow card. Langley also picked up a yellow card for Spurs. But with 10 men in the team and a penalty foul committed by Michael Caine, Everton, were in the red. And for that reason, the pressure, Warrigo saying, I pressure the boss pipe. The pressure yielded the penalty. And guess who stepped up? It was Hurricane, and he buried the ball in the net. So the lead 1-0 away from home. And with that, you know that Spurs are now third on the standing. That's the life standing. Unless Everton find a way to win this game or get a draw, at least Spurs are going to be comfortable in third position. But that also means that they have played one game more than Manchester City. 29 games, they are in third position with 52 points. Arsenal are still 20 points above them. They played the same number of games, but Arsenal are 20 points above them. Arsenal is the most informed team in the Premier League. 5 straight wins in their last 5 games. That's a beautiful one. Would Everton be able to come back? No, but what's the implication of this red card and goal that they've considered? Everton, that was in 14th or 15th position a few minutes ago, have been sucked down into the relegation drop zone. They are now in 18th position below Leeds United, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Wolves, and Crystal Palace. And then in 11th is Chelsea. Do you know that the gap between the team at the very base of the Premier League table, which is Southampton, and Chelsea, is just a par 3? Somerset is at 15 points. It's strange that Chelsea is closer to relegation than the top four. Jesus Christ. Can't believe that anyway. But hey, it is what it is. Let me try and read some of the messages that you guys have sent. I mean, I'm feeling for Alex Iwobi anyway. He got relegated now. I'm feeling for him. The story came out that it was because of Nicolas Pepe that they asked Alex Iwobi to leave Arsenal. And Emery told him to go because of that old boring Nicolas Pepe. Jesus Christ. Can somebody like Alex Iwobi? I'm not saying he's a good player, but no matter how bad Alex Iwobi is, he's still way, way better. So he could have been part of this team now and be having a good time. Okay. Real Jordan Mike says Zidane ain't going to Chelsea. Okay, we know that already. David Chinedu says, what about the Newcastle coach, sir? Okay, it's not in fault to Manchester United do well. They will still fall out of that. So you could tell me what he be, whether I win the league or I don't know. Olalo Abamedele said Chelsea wouldn't go as far as 5 seasons to win the EPL. Well, I'm used to people saying this. You know why? I remember exactly 10 years ago, 2013, I said a team that has never gone below third in the era of the Premier League would go 10 years without winning the Premier League. Everybody in the sporting world, even non-Man United fans, said I was crazy. Well, this is exactly the 10th year. They still not won the Premier League. I'm telling you, they're going to go 5 years. 5 years before any talk of them winning. Let me just put it in straight order. Chelsea are not going to win the Premier League in the next 5 years. People are not going to like it, but Chelsea are not going to win the Premier League in the next 5 years. Remember, I said this thing when Arsenal played in the finals of the Champions League, and I said Arsene Wenger and Arsenal would not taste a Premier League win again. And even if Arsenal are going to win the Premier League, they have to have a coach. That coach will come suffer. It's the coach that will come after that one that would have an attempt at winning it. I don't even know whether they will win it, but that's the time that they will have it. That seems like I'm correct. Well, if you say Chelsea are not going to go 5 years, I'm telling you here. So this is how it's going to be. This season, they are not going to win it. So let's start counting. Next season, for sure, Chelsea are out of it. Season after next one, I don't know yet because I can't see that far. But I think that the pressure, the competition will still be high. When was the last time Chelsea even won the league title first? Let's talk about that one. Because the Chelsea you think you know are no longer as good as they have been. Because in the last 5 seasons, Man City have won 4. Liverpool have won 1. So they've already gone 5 seasons without winning the Premier League, if I'm not making any mistake. So there's going to be another 5 seasons ahead of them to win the Premier League. They just are not going to win it. I'm sorry. But I'll be willing to be wrong, but let's see how it goes. Somebody's already challenging me that that's not going to happen, so I'm waiting to see. Lalu Abamedele says Chelsea wouldn't go as far as 5 seasons to win the EPL. Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed. I've never been wrong anyway. DBA Chinedu says I want to learn as I've been following you silently for some years now. Okay, you want to learn. Okay, you want to learn how. So what's the question? What's the thing that you're learning for? It makes sense, Sha. Thank you. Okay, I don't understand what that one is anyway, but if it's because of the Newcastle coach, I don't think there's anything to learn here. The question doesn't even have any value. Okay, Africa, wake up and leave. He said, we don't come set fire for ground. I don't understand. What burn the house? And they say, bros, you see AJ fight? Yes, I did. I'm not impressed. So he won, but I'm not impressed. I was hoping for his 2nd or 3rd round knockout. That's what I was looking forward to. But he didn't do that. But he won. So, hey, who was going to win? If it goes down to point decision, if upcoming Franklin, a boxer that is not ranked, fight Anthony Joshua, and he still have to drag that long, make Joshua not just try and say, "I'll go fight the Bruce Bomber." No need. He shouldn't think of fighting Deontay Wilder. He shouldn't think of fighting Usyk right now. He shouldn't also think of fighting Tyson Fury. He not go fit beat any of those people. He not go fit. I'm just saying it. He not go fit. He should go train more, go prepare himself. What Torino have equalized. It is 1-1 now against Sassuolo, and it's 90 minutes on the clock. Rayo Vallecano still leads, 72 minutes on the clock. Everton are still losing at home with 1 man down, 76 minutes on the clock. Tottenham are leading there. Hurricanes penalty. Well, let's push it up. John Robert 0122, he said, I beg, update me. If them if they don't sack our Super Eagles coach, God, I beg. Why would they sack him? What has he done that they will sack him? Sack him for what? Why? Did you people not say Ghana should go that anybody can? Sure, this is what you people, most of you said. Anybody can take the Super Eagles and they will play better football. Anybody, but not Ghana. Ghana does not know what he's doing. When I go there, yeah. This Joseph Pesero, he go be like Buhari. Unfortunately, contract no long. In 3 months' time, contract will finish. But sack, nah, we can't sack him right now. Right? So he went on to say, club, they sack their coach. Super Falcons and Super Eagles, they keep their coach. Okay. If I they sack them, sure you go pay you'll do the payoff as well. Official Sylvester Sly said Chelsea should go for Conte. In 2 years, them go win league. I don't think so. They will not. Letsky, he said if Franklin can beat ages, no. Just imagine what the likes of Wilder or Fury would do to him. Ozedana, it's been a while. I've not seen you in a while. Say good evening, bros. Good evening to you, Ozed. How far? How things are going with you? Okay, I don't know how that one will be, but I don't think that. I just think Tyson Fury is not ready. Okay, I mean AJ is not ready for Tyson Fury right now. I don't think he's got the capacity to do that. I don't think. Okay, there is still a long way for him to be able to say he wants to fight a Fury, a Deontay Wilder, or another fight with Alexander Usyk. For now, he should just be looking for small boxers. Well, let's go to YouTube and see. A lot of people are putting something there. Mystery Lane. I like the name. I just finished watching Mystery Murder Part 2 before I started the show. So, Mystery Lane said Chelsea can employ any world-class coaches except from an English coach. It should be in the club. Wait for this. He said it should be in the club's bylaw not to employ an English coach as the head. Okay, as the head coach. They can be an assistant coach, though. Man, this guy is mean. But I like what he said. I just like what he said. I think if I own a Premier League club, that would also be part of my law. But you can't make it public because it becomes discriminatory and you can be fined for that. Okay, IEM Global Services say, I thought Randy Wardrum was relieved of his duty some couple of days back. Good evening. That was an April Fool news that you saw. You didn't realize that it was April 1st. Okay, it was April Fool news that you saw. You thought you have seen breaking news, but it was April Fool news. Ogungbo Center say 13 million. I thought it was 50 million. Yes, because there was some defect. Okay, that contract also means that they must qualify for Champions League every season. The fact that they did not qualify for Champions League means that they have lost 40 million for starters. So that 40 million now, they don't deduct that from his salary. So they gave him 30 million. Let's say try now. Anybody did this world way, you go work just 12 months and you'll get 24 million. That's the way it is because the salaries for this first season and then the salary for the next season. Come on. That's big enough now. That's big enough plus all the bonuses and extras. We're not to get bonus. We cannot win too many matches. We win some Champions League matches. So those bonuses. I think that they looked at how Chelsea people looked at how Real Madrid did use Liverpool to do ATM business. 2K to collect 5K. And they looked at it like, Liverpool might be bad, but they are still better than us. They will go and let Madrid with this coach, we don't even know which player to select and which one not to select. This coach could just kill us. So let's take a new coach, like an assistant coach, so that when we lose somebody, say we don't have a coach. That's why. Because we cannot have a coach that will pay 12 million a season and we'll go and lose like that. So that's why they decide to sack him fast. Okay. Ogumba says Tebas' obsession is well known against Barca. A president of a league that didn't hide his affinity with Madrid, but he supports very bad league. Is a guy. Go read this the way you send me, and please put yourself in my shoe. May you see the guy suffer when you suffer me this evening. What did I do? What did I do wrong? So like this, Devils where they pursue the title don't drop to 5th position on the long. And so it be Casemiro means a whole lot. Without Casemiro, Manchester United, then they see road. That's just the truth. Odino Ramelekosi wanted to say, YouTube allow us to bring our stickers here now. I want to laugh small. Not be sticker you use. Not be this emojis you use. I don't think YouTube allows sticker, that kind of sticker that you have on WhatsApp. YouTube does not allow it. But hey, this one that you have is also good enough. Isaac Akomolafe, my long time friend. Great guy, fantastic guy. Die-hard APC supporter, and is not apologetic about it. That's one of the things I respect people for. That's why I like Ake Alabi. So when you stand for something, you don't have to be apologetic about it. It doesn't matter whether the crowd are saying something against you. Those are my kind of people. I guess that's why me and Ake Alabi could be friends. That's why me and Isaac could be friends as well. It doesn't matter what people say. Be able to stand for your conviction. It's part of what makes you a man, a person. Okay? Where people are saying, where is the voices that I said I was going to give you guys? I'm coming. Odino Ramelekosi say, Iwobi will see another EPL club that will get in if Everton gets relegated. And I said that they talk. Not the day easy like that. Allow me to say, it will make sense if any of these mid-table teams mentioned signs Potter, because the expectation on him won't be as intense as that of Chelsea, and by that he can deliver on that level. You know, Sabi coach, player. Well, when I was talking to Mario Leo last week, Mario Leo is the CEO of Result Sports. Result Sports is responsible for, all of these statistics about football that you see, the number of passes to the left, right, forward, backward, heat map, speed of players. His company is part of the companies that have the technology that makes it easy for that to happen. So I asked him about what makes Bayern a super club. What is that thing that Bayern have that makes them a super club? The structure is good and everything. This is what Mario Lowe had to say on that question.
And the machine is filled with oil, with revenue, with the commercial package. And you can see that FC Bayern just announced before their General Assembly that they've got more than 300,000 members. And you see every member pays 60, 80, 90 euro for an annual membership to get a possibility to buy a ticket. This ticket is not guaranteed. But the members in Germany, besides the funding of the players, the members in Germany also they pay a membership fee, and the more members you have, the more obviously commercial foundation and funding you have. And that's Bayern Munich is very smart in that, growing the membership. But FC Bayern Munich is also very smart in identifying their shareholders. So besides the registered club, they've put a they put a commercial entity called FC Bayern München AG, a shareholding company. But the shareholding company cannot be sold by 100% because 51% of this shareholding company is owned by the club, by FC Bayern München registered club, and then 49% of these shares are floating. And Bayern Munich sold 10%, I think, to Audi. Bayern Munich sold about 15% to Adidas, and they are shareholders of the company. So it's in the interest of Audi, it's in the interest of Adidas, it's in the interest of Allianz as insurance that FC Bayern is doing well. So when they enter the shareholding, when they become a shareholder, they obviously put funding into the team as well, which is sponsorships and also the overall assembly. And then Bayern has just a mid and long-term plan. They constantly go out of their comfort zone. They constantly challenge themselves in the board of directors. They constantly challenge the coaches to keep the players hungry, to be satisfied with the 7th title, the 8th title, the 9th title in series. The hunger, the determination of FC Bayern is frightening. It's frightening the opponents. And the most frightening part of FC Bayern is the consistency. And FC Bayern has been consistency running like an oiled machine for many years. And that's what I think your conversation and our conversation is leading to. Yeah, the consistency of the results for Julian Nagelsmann. That has been the one question by the board of
Yeah. You are listening to Electric TV Radio.
Well, I'm still going to come back and give you what is said about Julian Nagelsmann getting the sack, what happened, and all that. We would be talking about that. And most likely by tomorrow, the full video will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. Do what to watch. Watch in details because there is a few lessons to learn there, what we can learn from the German Bundesliga and apply to our own league. Like I always say that we owe it to ourselves, those of us who like sports, to be trained, well informed, because you never know when the opportunity would arise for you to be in charge, to run a project with the league. And between 2017 and now, I know I've done a whole lot of training, done a whole lot of online courses that helped me. When I got the opportunity to produce the Nigerian league, I didn't fail. At least I would sit down and I say, oh, on my cap, I've been a World Cup commentator, I've been a football reporter, I've been a sports analyst, I've been a presenter, but in English and Pidgin English, and I've done HITV, I've done Al Jazeera, and I could also say I have produced the Nigerian league and across other league, grassroots, FA Cup competition, because I give myself to learning, spending money, and we need a whole lot of people like that, because that's how you build a nation. A nation is built when a lot of the people in that nation commit themselves to learning and improving their skills for what is coming ahead of them. Antonio Remeleko says, Jesus, I just saw Lucas Moura. I don't know, say this guy still this Spurs, so that injury time goal against Ajax, unstoppable. Yes, that's true. Well, let's push the matter forward. And when I asked him about the sacking of Julian Nagelsmann, remember there was a conflict in the conversation. On one end, they were saying they will not sack him. He still got a job for another 5 years. And then eventually he got announced. And now we know that even though that they've sacked him, he cannot be employed by another club just like that. If, for instance, Chelsea wants to employ Julian Nagelsmann, they will pay transfer fee. Yes, the reason is Julian Nagelsmann was not terminated. He was just told, stay house, not come work again. You know how those youths, I don't know if you come from Niger Delta, but in my neck of the wood where I come from, the fee cycle will ban you from going to work. Say, just stay your house. If you come out, they will beat you. So you just stay house. So they still pay, Bayern still pay him salaries and all that. But he just can't come to work. So Thomas Tuchel will be doing his job. Well, let me go and get you Mario Leo to explain the sacking of Julian Nagelsmann, how it happened, because he is an inside person. He was on the inside when this thing happened. Let's hear from him. Mario, over the yard.
Nobody expected that to happen. It was an international journalist, Fabrizio Romano, who sort of tweeted and saying that Julian Nagelsmann job is on the line. Yeah, that he is probably been eliminated by FC Bayern. And then suddenly the German newspapers, Sky Sports, as a German broadcaster for football, they came in and said, yes, true. And I think that chain of events, the board of directors of FC Bayern is divided in that question. Oli Kahn is probably the one mostly leading towards a replacement of Thomas Tuchel, because he don't know whether the 33-year-old Julian Nagelsmann is the man for the job, is experienced enough. Because yes, when it counts, yeah, winning 8 games in the Champions League out of 8, you can't question that. There is no way you can win 9 out of 8. I mean, Julian Nagelsmann did a fantastic job in that. But Julian Nagelsmann, as a younger coach, sort of rested sometimes players in the Bundesliga. In the Bundesliga, when you have a 10-point lead over Dortmund, in November before the World Cup break, and that's melting away. And then you go into the national team break, and you are 1 point behind Bayern. The board of directors at Bayern was divided. And this dividing was seen because Herbert Heiner, who is the president of the football club, of the registered club, said just 5 days before the sacking, Julian Nagelsmann is a long-term project. Yeah, we think long of him. The results don't matter in the Bundesliga. We will win the Bundesliga. That's 5 days before the sacking.
Vote of confidence always comes before the sack.
Exactly. That's why I think it was Oli Kahn, Hasan Salihamidzic in conversation in this rivalry. Will we be able? And I think there's another twist where Thomas Tuchel possibly, because behind the scenes there's always conversation taking place. And maybe Thomas Tuchel not send a message, but in a conversation mentioned that he's ready to join a big club. He's got an offer on the table from a big club. And the Bayern board of directors fear that Thomas Tuchel again will be gone off the market. And who is going to replace Julian Nagelsmann in the summer when they don't win the German championship, when they don't win the Champions League? So that's why it was like a dynamic evolving of the situation where suddenly the decision appeared because of the media pressure. Fans hated the decision because they were happy with it. If you look into the social media responses of the fans, they questioned this decision very toughly because Thomas Tuchel's last job in the Bundesliga was with Borussia Dortmund. And also Thomas Tuchel's departures at the clubs, they always went a bit sour. When he left Mainz for Dortmund, Mainz was not good enough for him. When he left Dortmund, he was sacked at Dortmund. It didn't go without noises. When he left PSG, it didn't go without noises. When he left Chelsea now, it didn't go without noises. And always is the second year, which is the big challenge. So the Bayern fans now say he would stay with us for 18 months, and then he's gone. And then we lost our Julian Nagelsmann, because when you look into the contract relationship, Julian Nagelsmann contract at Bayern runs till 2026. Thomas Tuchel's contract with FC Bayern runs until 2025. So maybe Julian Nagelsmann will be the successor of Thomas Tuchel when he will go away again in 3 years from now.
I hope you guys heard what he said. It really got me laughing, But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes these things happen. It's football. Nothing is cast in stone. There are no permanent enemies. They sack you today, tomorrow to bring you back. So it's possible that Julian Nagelsmann would succeed Thomas Tuchel again. Maybe they're saying for now the atmosphere is too tense. It's not good enough. Let's let him go. Bring in Thomas Tuchel. This one is ambitious. Let him come and do his 18 months journeyman job. And after that, we can bring in Julian Nagelsmann. Nobody's saying he's not a good coach, but this is just probably not the right time. Maybe that's just what it is. But thank you very much, everybody, for being on the show. Those of you who have not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe. I remember telling you guys that tomorrow will be explosive. It's going to be me and Emmanuel Sebastian here in the studio. I hope you have a good night rest. While we were there, Dino Ramile can give us, he became our reporter. He's still talking about Lucas Moura. He has just been sent off and Everton just equalized. Okay, so I was focused on listening to that. And then the table, the adjustment, the complexion of the table have changed again. It's 95 minutes on the clock, going into the 96th minute now. And once again, Newcastle United, without kicking the ball, without doing anything, have jumped into third again. Tottenham Hotspur are in fourth. But if you go by their standing for the day, they are still progressing because they started the day in fifth, Man United in fourth, but that has changed. Well, pending final whistle, if Everton manages to find a goal in this game and score, then Spurs will come down to fifth. I wish they would. You guys know how much I don't like Spurs. Spurs practically is the only club in this world that I don't like. Every other club, I'm okay with them. But Everton are the greatest jumpers. While Spurs jumped one position, Everton have just gone again from 18 position to 15 position. That's a jump of 3 places. And it will be annoying to Leeds United because Leeds are now in that dreaded 18 position of the clubs that will be relegated. And to think that Everton have won only 1 game in the last 5, you're adding this one now where they are drawing in the last 6, maybe you would say to yourself, in the last 5, sorry, you'll say to yourself, what's really going on with Everton? Can they not just magically out of nowhere find a win and get a win in this game. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. It's their business. The club that I support, the club that I love in the Premier League are in top position and are still holding on strong. But let's see how it goes. Well, it is 6 minutes before the end of the show. I'm talking about 6 minutes. 96 minutes of added time have been played. Two clubs who you don't expect to really play a game that would generate red cards have had their red card issues in this game. Okay, it was Dakora in the 58th minutes and Lucas Moura, straight red card. This referee must have come into this game with an intent to stamp his authority. And it was Harry Kane that scored in the 68th minute for Tottenham Hotspur away from home. It was a penalty kick. And it was Kane, yes, Moise Kane, that also equalized for Everton. As a key factor in this conversation. Godfrey assisted him. Well, if there is no goal, then it's going to end in a draw, and it has actually ended in a draw. Well, the biggest winner in this one would have to be Everton, because somehow 1 point gained instead of 2 point lost, even though they played at home, means that they are now away from the relegation. Not safe yet, not safe, but they're away from the relegation. And Tottenham, that have played 29 games, with Manchester United having 2 games in hand on them, Brighton and Hove having 3 games in hand on them. I'm just playing the cards out. Even Liverpool, who have 2 games in hand on them, Liverpool would not be able to knock them out, because if Liverpool win their 2 games, they'll go to 48 points. But let's look at it from this angle. Let's just try to play the devil's advocate, play the ostrich a little bit as I pack my bags and baggages to leave the studio. So Manchester United are on 50 points. They win their 2 games in hand, they go to 56. Tottenham Hotspur might not be able to make the top 4. Brighton and Hove have 3 games in hand on them. They win those 3 games in hand, which is a possibility. They will not overtake Man United. Manchester United also win those 2 games in hand. But winning those 3 games in hand will give them 9 points. That takes them to 52 points. Again, they will push Spurs further down. How I wish that could happen. But hey, it's their own. The one that consigned me, stop on the table, praying that Manchester City will drop some points and make life easy for Mikel Arteta and his boys. I think that they've done enough to deserve a title win this season. I don't know what you think, but this is time for me to pack my bags and baggages and leave the studio. I've had fun, no matter the numbers. My name is Idafe Matthews. You're going to love to come in the Lebanon on the spot. For those of you who are saying Chelsea will not go 5 seasons without winning, remember, they've already gone 5 seasons without winning the league, and the war did not come to an end. Another 5 seasons awaits them. If you say they will not go, okay, well, I'm here. I'm watching you. When the time comes, we'll have a conversation. But I think that they will go 5 seasons without winning the league. So this is where I say thank you very, very much. Have a wonderful night rest. My name is Idafe Matthews. You're going to love to come in and go on the Spurs. Bye-bye. And be good to yourself first. And then be also good to people that you know and people that know you. Bye.